To dismantle a master's house, you got to use the master's tools. Jesus had a cross, Martin had a dream, Malcolm got a gun, Shorty got a toilet, and we all got our shit to deal with. I'm using a camera to tell my story, to share my truth. 1986, I turned in guns and drugs to the police at the police station to end the war on drugs. You ended prohibition in the 30s to stop the violence in the white community. Well, in 2020, let's end the war on drugs to stop the violence in the black community. You can go directly to Kirk Smoke, because in 2020, I'm about ending the war on drugs. That's Kirk Smoke, office president of the University of Baltimore, Maryland. All right. This is Vanessa Attenberry, House Judiciary Committee. She has evidence of my innocence. She has evidence and knowledge of my innocence. And she needs to turn this over to the Department of Justice. I want to access the grand jury in 2020. I want my freedom back. I want my life back. And I'm going to use the Constitution to do it. Making a movie called I Am Dred Scott. And the movie is Congress shall make no laws, all right, religion, abridging or prohibiting my freedom of speech. Yeah, that means the movie's covered under the Constitution. The original movie was Rob Fiks, and it's called Letters Design. That's just one of 13 movies. Me and Rob Fiks cut ties. I used that toilet for the movie. That was a prop for the movie. All right. On February the 2nd, 2011, I turned in Scott Schellenberger, Greg Bernstein. I turned in the Democratic Party for the corruption and the money y'all make off of mass incarceration. You stole me from my family on February the 11th. This movie, Letters Design, was about Sierra Davis right here. It was about my daughter, Rob Fiks. All right, hold your head up while we do this right quick. This was Rob Fiks and Sierra Davis. You can Google it, Letters Design. She graduated from
Riverside University High School.
And she got the Bill Gates Millennium Scholarship. All right, she got a lot of other scholarships, correct?
Correct.
We were filming your graduation. We filmed Boucher's wedding, right?
Yeah.
And we filmed the family in Waukegan and Zion in Milwaukee, right? And shot a lot of shot in footage. This was from what year?
2007.
So from 2007, everything that Rob Fiks got from 2007 till this date is my intellectual property. It's my property under the Constitution. You feel me? It's my intellectual property. I had a trial, all right? No person shall be held. I was kidnapped by the state, all right, for infamous crime of terrorism. My property was taken. Right here it says, deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process and equal protection. My property was stolen. And by this same constitutional law, I'm supposed to be compensated for my losses. You feel me? Because I was found innocent of all charges. Freely, duly, and at the expense of our government. You took 13 movies. You took 13 years of videos. You took 13 movies. One was called Letters Design. Another one was called Baltimore Rewired. Another one was called Portraits of a Letter. And it exposed the role the media played. That toilet was evidence. And it's art and evidence, and it's covered under the Constitution. Frank Conway's father had my information. Frank Conway's father was the clerk of the court. I had a $54 million lawsuit against Jake Davis, James Hammond, Brother Insurance, Bank of America, SunTrust Bank, Paul Weinblatt, Governor O'Malley, because y'all make a lot of money off of black bodies. You can go to Bruce Miller, Mike Miller, Thomas Miller, President. All right, you can go to Mr. Miller. We got a video channel called Puppet Law, and it has all the evidence on it. Y'all been shielding this for the last 13 years. You go to the Daily Record. All right, the Daily Record, he has this information from the first day that I showed up in Annapolis, this session, 2020. So you go to the Daily Record, you get everything that he got, what he been following me. I asked Mary Washington to access the grand jury under Senate Bill 374. I want to access the grand jury under Senate Bill 374 into the 2020 session. I don't want a new law. I want criminal charges brought against Scott Schellenberger. I don't want a new law. I want to testify in front of the grand jury. I don't want a new law. I want the old laws that's already on the books to protect me now. I want a federal and state audit. Hold your head up. I want a federal and state audit because you took money that belongs to her. I had a life insurance policy, Prudential life insurance policy for $250,000. My business was sole proprietorship. It belongs to her. It was part of her legacy. Nobody else had rights to that. Sole proprietorship means that nobody can sign my checks. You feel me? So I need a federal and state audit because the state of Maryland accepted forged checks while I was locked up in another state. I want a federal and state audit. I want to access the grand jury. I want my property back. I want my rights to be protected. I am Dred Scott. Do blacks have rights in which white people respect? Well, if you contact Senator Antonio Hayes, he got a book, and that book is all about Governor Hogan. That book is all about Governor Hogan and Martin Luther King. It's about my journey for justice. It shows that I practiced the law. I fought the law, and I won. So go directly to Senator Antonio Hayes and get that product. Contact Mr. Bazemore. He's going to be my witness. Pat Young is going to be my witness. He got evidence and knowledge, and we're going to settle this in a court of law. We're going to settle this in Annapolis because, like I said, when I come back on Wednesday, I'm going to put that camera in your face. I'm going to ask you 21 questions. We're going to talk about Fox 45 and how they demonize us because you've been knowing me for the longest. We're going to pull all your records and everything that you know about Shorty. Crime and justice. Yeah, it ain't going to be just us. 2020, I'm going to put your camera in your face. The campaign of public shame. I'm going to shut Fox 45 down. And we're going to make a movie about it. It's called Portraits of a Letter. It's already there. Brian Frost. I need criminal charges brought against Scott Schellenberger. I was kidnapped by the state because I was making a movie about the Democratic Party. I was making a movie about Martin Luther King. And I can prove everything I say. So 2020, when I come to Annapolis next week, I want a grand jury and I want criminal charges. No justice, no peace. And I'm gonna mic check these streets. Baltimore County, the office of Johnny Oleski. You got close to 1,000 emails you have not responded to. You can't claim that you're giving equality. You can't claim that you're making this change in Baltimore County and ignoring my call for justice. Schellenberger need to go to jail. 2020, that's my mission, and it ain't impossible. Leon Pinkett gonna testify with me at the grand jury. Leon Pinkett seen the evidence that y'all been shielding for the last 13 years. Leon Pinkett is running for county council, and I'm promoting Leon Pinkett for county council president. Yeah, that's who I'm supporting, and he's gonna testify on my behalf because we're gonna clean up Baltimore City. We're gonna clean it up from the inside out. Robin Lewis, yeah. We're going to talk about this. I want all my property. I want all my evidence. I want to testify in front of the grand jury because you stole me from my daughter. SCHITT nor Senate Judiciary Bill 374, accessing the grand jury. I want to testify in front of the House Judiciary and the Senate Judiciary in 2020. You already seen me testify about the grand jury. You feel me? So we need you to do what you got to do. No justice, no peace. You ask for evidence, get all the evidence from Rob Fiks, the movie Letters Design. Everything that Rob Fiks got since 2006 is my intellectual property. It's covered under the Constitution, the First Amendment. It's my intellectual property and it belongs to me. The toilet is covered under the Constitution. It's my intellectual property and it belongs to me. Hold your head up. Hold your head up. That's my baby girl. She ain't my property, but she belongs to me. And I'm fighting for mine, yours, and ours. This ain't my fight. This is our struggle. Being black in America. 2020.